Here's another what I eat in a day video. People seem to like these, but this is sort of an anti-aging approach to nutrition. And in this video, I really am showcasing the foods that I eat on a regular basis. It might not always be in this same exact routine or rotation, but it's something that I really eat pretty much on the daily, especially this hot chocolate. Yum. So in the morning, I start with a dark, rich, black cup of coffee, strong French roast. And coffee does have anti-aging benefits. It has been shown to protect the skin from oxidative stress-induced senescence. And senescence cells, the accumulation of senescent cells, lead to the abnormal aging, premature aging, and aging of the skin. And it does this via the activation of autophagy, which is a major pathway for protein cell turnover. And so I drink coffee every single morning. I think it does have a good source of antioxidants. In fact, I think it's the primary source of antioxidants for most people in the Western world, which says a lot because there are so many other foods that are even more antioxidant rich. But yeah, I really just love the rich taste of a black cup of coffee in the morning, and I really never go without it. Sometimes I alternate and just drink tea, but I really do like this pour over method. Fun fact, if you brew your own coffee, make sure to use a paper or an unbleached paper liner, because that really gets out the excess oil, so you're not like jacking up the LDL cholesterol. But yeah, just a fantastic, it's just so like, I don't know, relaxing and soothing in the morning, and really wakes me up in a very relaxing, soothing way. I often drink this while I watch my Disney live streamer, my Disney World live streamer in the morning. And with breakfast, I've been making these, sometimes I don't eat breakfast, but today I am. I've been making these sort of lower glycemic oatmeal dishes, and I use both old-fashioned oats as well as cauliflower. Cauliflower is super high in vitamin C, which is involved in collagen synthesis. It's also high in sulforaphane, which activates that NRF2 pathway to increase endogenous antioxidants. I add about 25 grams of rolled old-fashioned oats to a pot, and then for cauliflower I add enough to reach like 75 to 80 grams. It really doesn't matter too much, but I combine this, and believe me, you can't taste the cauliflower when you add everything else, but I combine this with about a cup of almond milk, cashew milk, flax milk, hemp milk, whatever milk that you desire, whatever I have on hand, and I cook this until it is simmering, and I let that simmer for about 5 minutes or so until the oats and the cauliflower really soaks up the milk, and I add a little bit of water to liquefy it some more. And then once that's soaked up, after about maybe 7 minutes or so, I add it to a bowl, and then I add all of my fixings. So what I add is a lot of superfoods, but basic superfoods that you can find pretty easily. For instance, I like to just to bulk up the dish, but also to add nutrients. I like to add blueberries. Blueberries are high in anthocyanins, have potential protection for the skin against the oxidative effects of UV damage and the free radical damage as well. Walnuts are high in omega-3s, also omega-6s, so I try to balance this out during the day with some fish oil. But walnuts bulks up the dish, provides plant-based omega-3s, which are anti-inflammatory, and I like to add flaxseed. This is more skewed toward the omega-3s. The plant-based omega-3s, which is mostly ALA, doesn't have a high conversion rate to DHA and EPA, which your body needs, but ALA is still utilized by the body, a good source of antioxidants, anti-inflammatory component, so really great to add to this dish in my opinion. Flax seeds are also just a good source of fiber and protein. For extra antioxidant, anti-inflammatory component, I add cinnamon. Cinnamon has been shown to help regulate blood sugar, so adding it to a carb dish like this, the fat, the protein, the fiber, the cinnamon will really help to, in my opinion, reduce that glycemic burden or that glycemic load of the entire dish. And this is actually a really tasty, a really filling and nutrient-dense, antioxidant-rich breakfast. Like I said, I don't eat this every morning. It's just something that I decided to consume this morning. Sometimes I don't eat at all. I just fast until lunch. But yeah, there you go. There's my morning antioxidant-rich breakfast. And at about the 10 o'clock hour, I do some black tea, some organic loose leaf black tea. This is English breakfast, I believe, but I love tea. There are some studies suggesting that tea can inhibit MMPs, matrix metalloproteinases, that break down the collagen in the skin. But here you go. There's my tea beverage that I like to just drink and sip on during the 10 o'clock hour and relax so I can just sort of recharge to continue throughout my day. For lunch, I'm going to make a salad, a really big salad. I start out by getting my broccoli florets for that sulforaphane. I'll talk a little bit. Oh, I think I already talked about the sulforaphane. But also the lettuce. I get a blend of like 50 and 50 spinach and just like spring lettuce. This is really high in vitamin C, vitamin A, plant carotenoids like beta carotene, lutein, and zeaxanthin. While your body has to convert plant-based carotenoids, vitamin A, to a form that it can utilize, it's still beneficial, and barring any sort of genetic mutation, you can convert it quite well. Research suggests that carotenoids from like peppers that I just got out and the carrots I just got out, beta carotene, alpha carotene, as well as lutein and zeaxanthin from these vegetables can improve skin elasticity and skin hydration, contributing significantly to an anti-wrinkle and photoprotective effect for the skin. So I use about 2 ounces or so of the lettuce. I also use about 2 ounces or so of broccoli florets. If you could do maybe broccoli sprouts, you're also getting a higher concentration of that sulforaphane. Broccoli is also the mature plant. It's also high in K2 as well as vitamin C, which is involved in that collagen synthesis. And I always chop the big things with scissors. It's just easier for me. And there is a theory in that when you chop your vegetables and you sort of agitate them, it causes them to increase their polyphenols or antioxidants, because antioxidants in plants are defense mechanisms for the plant itself. So, and we take those on by eating them. When we eat the plants, we consume the antioxidants and we receive the benefit. So chopping them may help to, because it's a defense mechanism, may help to improve the polyphenol content and consequently provide greater protection for the skin. I add some extra virgin olive oil, just a drizzle, for those antioxidants. The monounsaturated fats in olive oil also have been shown to protect against photoaging, the skin against photoaging. So I try to include as many monounsaturated fat-rich foods as possible, which I'll get into in just a second when I add the avocado. Here's some quercetin-rich red onions that I try to eat like a quarter of a red onion per day, if not half a red onion per day. I also add in some carrots, which are high again in those beta and alpha carotenes, the vitamin A rich nutrients, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory nutrients for the skin. Bell peppers, which are high in vitamin C, as well as carotenoids as well. Again, your body has to convert them, but with some fat and, just a healthy body overall, you can convert them quite easily. So I don't really worry about plant versus animal vitamin A. I tend to get both just so I can have a diversity. Here is some chickpeas or garbanzo beans. These are rich in folate, which can be helpful for reducing inflammation in the body, supporting anti-inflammatory components in the body, as well as helping with the conversion or the reduction of hydrogen peroxide in the body as well, which contributes to gray hair, as a matter of fact. I've been using kelp, which is high in iodine. We don't really get a lot of iodine in our diet. Even like iodized salt is not really super high or a good enough source for our bodies, but iodine, good for thyroid function when taken conservatively, may reduce pro-inflammatory cytokines in the body and activate the NRF2 pathway in the skin to protect against UV. So kelp is a very potent superfood in my opinion, and we don't really get a lot of like seaweed or iodine in our diet, so I try to include that as much as possible. Adding some Redmond's real salt, because sodium also, we don't get enough good healthy quality salt in our bodies, so I try to include that as much as possible. Avocados, like olive oil, high in monounsaturated fatty acids. I eat like maybe half of an avocado to maybe a full avocado every single day. Avocados have been shown to reduce oxidative stress and inflammatory processes that protect the skin against photoaging. They're high in carotenoids, which may inhibit MMPs and exert anti-inflammatory and UV protective effects for the skin. There was one study I found in women that showed that consumption of an avocado per day for 8 weeks improved skin firmness and elasticity. So here's my big salad. In this salad, I'm going to wrap up the avocado and have it for later, the other half of the avocado. But in the salad, I mix it first, so I make sure everything's, mixed well. You could add some maybe vinegar, like balsamic vinegar or lemon juice if you like. I just don't want the acidity because I want to protect my teeth enamel, but that acidity can just provide extra taste and also provide a little bit of sort of potentially a glycemic lowering ability for all the carbs. So I dish this out. I eat the whole salad, but I'm not done yet. I add one other ingredient in here that I think is really, really powerful that, not a lot of people talk about, and it is a source of omega-3, animal-based omega-3. You can get omega-3s, DHA and EPA from algae if you're a vegan, but I like to include in my salad whenever I make this salad at lunch, or even if I make it in the dinner, I like to include something that is not only high in omega-3s, but also low in mercury. So this is going to be a fish, of course. I add sardines. Sardines, I get the ones that are in spring water, wild caught, that have the bones for calcium and the skin for omega-3s. Sardines are really high in omega-3s, DHA and EPA. The body utilizes these more efficiently than plant-based omega-3s, ALA, the latter of which has to be converted. But omega-3s have anti-inflammatory, antioxidant protection for the skin. They also provide lubrication and moisture for the skin and the eyes, and they're good for the hair as well. So because they're so young and small, they're also pretty low in mercury when compared with other fish. I also sprinkle on some pumpkin seeds, which are a good source of zinc that have antioxidant protection for the body and the hair. The oil of pumpkin seeds have also been demonstrated to inhibit to a certain degree DHT, dihydrogen testosterone, which contributes to male pattern baldness. I also add some hemp seeds, good source of omega-3s, 6s, and 9s, all of which are essential for the body. And there you have it. That is my salad. And like I said, I don't eat this every single day, but I tend to eat this maybe every other day and alternate it with something like a green smoothie or like maybe leftovers I have from the dinner before. But it is really good. It's a good source of fiber, a good source of antioxidants, omega-3s. It is a superfood powerhouse anti-aging lunch. Sometimes I will also consume a protein powder at lunch. This is the collagen peptide protein powder. This has all the essential amino acids except for tryptophan, I believe, but it contains all the protein and amino acids that support collagen production, skin hydration, and I really like it. I also have been using this grass-fed whey protein. Whey can stimulate growth hormone and insulin like growth factor 1, which is important for anti-aging or maintaining youthful body, skin, healthy mind, but it also is implicated in acne. So if you're prone to acne, best to avoid whey protein. Tonight for dinner, I'm going to make a recipe from this paleo perfected, I think this is America's Test Kitchen cookbook, and this is a spicy Thai grilled beef salad. If you're a vegan or vegetarian, I could see you substituting like tempeh or like tofu, something, maybe a fermented tofu, but I add paprika, cayenne for spice as well as flavor and antioxidants. They're super antioxidant rich spices, and spices they are concentrated forms of antioxidants and anti-inflammatory components, which are fantastic for the skin and the body overall, the cardiovascular system, brain health, etc. And this recipe calls for some lime juice. Limes, high in vitamin C, add a little bit of acidity, add a little flavor. Vitamin C, like I said, is involved in collagen synthesis. So I think this recipe called for maybe the juice of one full lime. So I went ahead and juiced that. It also called for 2 tablespoons of premium fish sauce, which isn't the healthiest thing in the world, and a teaspoon of raw organic honey, which actually does have some like antimicrobial, antibacterial benefits. And because this is being divided out in 4 servings, it's not that super high in sugar. The quercetin rich onions. Onions are high in quercetin, which is a polyphenol. In vitro research suggests that quercetin suppresses UV-induced expression of enzymes that degrade collagen in the skin. Other research suggests that quercetin exerts or inhibits UV-induced inflammation and skin cell senescence. Here's some cucumbers. I found some in vitro evidence suggesting that cucumbers exhibit antioxidant, anti-hyaluronidase, which breaks down hyaluronic acid in the skin, as well as anti-elastase properties. So it fights the breakdown of hydration and elastin in the skin, and you just mix those together with a little bit of mint. Mint is just, a tasty, delicious herb that I love, and it's also good for digestion. But the salad, this recipe doesn't use lettuce. It uses a blend of mint leaves and cilantro leaves. These are also super high in not only antioxidants, but K2 and various other vitamins and minerals. And they add just such a spice to the dish that is so delicious. I went ahead and made some liberties and added some arugula, which I love arugula. We're growing it in the garden in the backyard, and it is so delicious. It has a little spice to it, which I love. I love spicy foods. My rosacea doesn't as much, but I just mix those together, and I do it by hand. I don't really care, to be honest, if my hands get dirty or messy, and that's just sort of how I mix my salad, especially if it's just me eating it. Then I toss it with the dressing that I made with that fish sauce and the honey and the spices. Add a little bit of that spice. It says to use as much as you like. I just go ahead and use the whole thing because I like the spiciness from the cayenne. And I mix that together. And that is basically it, I think, when it comes to the salad portion. And all you really need is like the protein portion. We're doing a grilled flank steak, which, you know, grilled is not the best for in terms of like the AGE formation, but when combined with other antioxidants, you can really help to inhibit those AGEs from causing damage to the organs, to the skin. But yeah, I think if you are a vegan or a vegetarian, I do think this benefits from some sort of like protein, like a chewy protein like tempeh or tofu. But yeah, very delicious paleo meal. One of my favorite anti-aging desserts, if you will, is hot chocolate. I even drink this during the summer, but I don't sweeten this. I just use unsweetened almond milk and cacao powder and unsweetened chocolate, like cacao wafers that I get with Navita's Naturals, but these are the products that I use, and I think they test for lead and cadmium. But cacao polyphenols have been shown to improve skin tone and elasticity, improve skin elasticity, protect the collagen against UV. The polyphenols in cacao have also been shown to protect against cellular senescence via the upregulation of anti-aging proteins, namely sirtuins, SIRT1 and SIRT3. I just love the taste of chocolate, so I eat it every single day, but I'm also getting those cacao polyphenols, those biochemical compounds in cacao, and I drink it and I consume it every single day. I try to choose, you know, chocolate with brands that have tested for their lead and cadmium content. Oh, there I am enjoying my hot chocolate, but this is my dessert for the evening. It actually is really, really good, even without sweetener. And there you have it, another anti-aging what I eat in a day video for the purposes of anti-aging. If you like this video, hit that like button down below so I know to make more videos like this in the future. And if you're not already, please subscribe if you're into anti-aging topics, nutrition, or research. I would love to share this space with you. And until the next video, I hope you have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye.